Hello there, welcome back. How you doing? And today, I would very much like to talk about the latest release of our favourite Icelandic rock band, Kaleo, Skinny. And hold it there, before you leave me today thinking, with quite relatively strong authority, why am I listening to this bloke? All he does is talk about European rock bands. Let's hold the phone and take a step back. If you'll let me, let's take a quick stroll down Imagination Avenue, down the lovely brick path of Picture Lane, if you will, and let's think and call back on the rich tradition of blues music. There's only one country really that comes to mind when we all think of blues music, and of course that is the United Kingdom, where in the 1960s a bunch of generic skinny white dudes with long hair decided that they would appropriate this magnificent genre of music. Well, that one hit quite close to home, jeez, goddamn. And from here on, yada yada yada, we get to the modern scene. Moving into the modern day, the blues is revered and loved by people of all countries and all planets, all races, all genders. And thus today we are talking about one of my favourite Grammy-winning European bands, which I mentioned in the intro, Kaleo. Now the single came out a couple of days ago, but this is part of a collection of 5 songs which have been coming out little by little, as is common trend, teasing the upcoming album named Surface Sounds. And I was trying my best to wait and see what would happen, hoping that the release of the full album would come out. I could do like one big extravaganza, but I'm tired of waiting and the songs are really good, so why don't we jump into the memes? So Skinny in itself is a fun little song that starts with an acoustic soft intro, which as the song kind of moves in gets a tiny bit heavier up to just a big climax and a big explosion where the whole band gets in and everyone starts singing and shouting, and it's really good fun. There is also a good level of depth to the lyricism as well. It's by no means generic or gratuitous. It's a good fucking song. And really moving on from the fact that what I seem to do here on the channel is just say, oh, this is a good fucking song. Oh, this is a good fucking song. Oh, this one's fun.
I did not hit her. I did not. Oh, hi, Mark.
I really wanted to cover Kaleo because, as we all know, if there's one weak spot in my heart, musically, it's an up-and-coming rock band, possibly from Europe, who has a frontman with a voice capable of melting stone, very much in the vein of a Greta Van Fleet, of a Maneskin, and now, finally, to tie things up together, a Kaleo. JJ, Julius' son, really adds himself to the big list of frontmen which have been capturing my heart lately. And although, you know, this isn't such a new band, as it were, I've known them for quite a while, I'm more than happy to have an excuse to talk about them today. I really think that even moving on from Skinny in itself, there are another couple of songs within the singles released up to this point, which were Alter Ego and Break My Baby. In a title in itself sounds a bit funny to me. I can imagine a bit of a scene. I imagine Anubis kind of holding a baby and then chucks it and then it just breaks. I don't know what's going on here, but the title's pretty funny is what I'm trying to say. But musically, the main reason why I couldn't contain myself any longer and I really just wanted to jump on the hype train ASAP is mainly because I was getting really excited. I was starting to hear in Surface Sounds, in the singles we've heard so far, a lot of those signature traits of the band that came across through the debut, AB. And since I know that about 40% of the human beings who watch me out there are from the great country of Merica, let me just point out that in fact this band is not just European, it's quite global at this point. Think of any serialized live-action American TV show to come out in the past 4 years, be it Grey's Anatomy, be it Lucifer, be it, I don't really watch that much TV, so I can't really come up with a third example on the spot. You definitely heard these blokes whenever there's a cool scene where there's cool stuff to do. And if you listen to the thing, and then you listen to the record, and then you go back, you're like, ah, that's who the fuck that was. That song was pretty banging. See, I'm doing a lot of public service today, like, you know? We're doing geography, we're doing history, cinematography, like, if there's any video where I'm deserving of subscription down below, I think it would be this one right here? Question mark?
Do it.
Maybe? But yes, as I was saying, in this album we get a really cool mixture of the core tone which got the band off to their really good start in the first place. In A.B., what really kind of stood out to me was the versatility of the sound, capable of really going from a more calm, a little bit more melodic and clear and crisp tone into something that was a lot more high energy and really capable of getting you involved in the music and authentic and powerful. Frankly, the reason I know the band in the first place is because some friends of mine in a lovely band that I will definitely talk about at some point, they, in their first couple of years, kept on playing the cover of No Good. And I kept on sitting there, really enjoying the song, thinking, huh, that's a really good fucking song they've written. I would have no... How have they come up with such a good song in such a short time of being together as a band? And it really just didn't fucking click that it was a cover, so I found them through there, and it's just good fun. And although I had these thoughts with regards to our frontman in the previous body of work that we had of the band up to this point, I really think that in the singles that we've gotten so far, we are hearing the voice really take center stage and have the spotlight just shine on it and let it carry the music. I'm hearing something that's very reminiscent of a rag and bone man, you know, very deep, manly, chunky tone with a bit of flurry breakup in that higher register, which is really nice to listen to. It's quite crisp, it's quite tasteful. I enjoy it. It's surprisingly expressive, but at the same time, it's still very much capable of kicking it up a notch when it needs to, and really getting into the, not exactly the classic realm of falsetto that I've been going on about oh so much in the past couple of videos I've been making, getting to that point where we're almost at the breaking point of the sound wave, but it never quite gets there. Musically, on the other hand, the rest of the band in these singles that we've had up to this point, in my opinion, really delivers on not necessarily replicating, but expanding upon the depth, the versatility, and the high octane energy that was on display in the first debut album, A.B. And expanding on that, what we get is a voice which is very much capable of kicking it up a notch, slowing it down a little bit, but both sides and both extremes still capable of offering a relatively satisfying level of depth and emotion, which comes across when you listen. And from the rest of the surrounding music, for example, in Skinny specifically, we get an interesting but very simple, at the core of it, it's very simple, but it's quite interesting, a calm, melancholic, open sound, which then is capable of evolving and flourishing into this high energy, crunchy sound that, in my mind, I associate with the band in a more broader sense. So, all in all, I'm very, very happy to see what else is going to come as to the album, and do, for sure, expect me to talk about the rest of the music upon its release officially. But for now, let's enjoy the couple of songs we've gotten so far. Really fun, some good versatility, it's not banal, and it's quite refreshing, in my opinion, every time I cover a band like this, to pay some attention to an up-and-coming European band kind of making its way into the mainstream. If I had not just pointed out that they were from Iceland, you would never fucking have noticed they're from Iceland. Like, you would never have noticed. Alrighty, that being said, thank you very much for tuning in here today. I hope you're as excited for the new release as I am. On this note, now that we have an extra little minute at the end of the video, I'd very much like to formally notice and formally acknowledge that we have reached 100 subscribers. It's a good feeling. It's something that I wasn't expecting in a way. You know, it feels like I've sort of not necessarily accomplished something, but you know, it feels like we have something going here, and there's a little community forming, which is very humbling in a way. You know, in my mind, it's still a bit outlandish to envision 100 individuals who all thought, oh, okay, he's cool, and click the little button. So that's very nice. Thank you. Very cool. As I mentioned last time, I am going to do something small, but I do want to do something kind of cool to commemorate the event, so do stay tuned for that coming in the next, I don't know, week, 2. Depends on exactly what the plan is and how I put into action, but yeah, that's me. Thank you very much for watching me today. Have a lovely afternoon, and do remember, stay classy, my internet people.